Globalization. Let's think about it. But first, let's talk about chocolate. This is the equator, and this is where I grew up. When I was young, I lived under the rule of protectionist policies like import substitution industrialization, which basically means economies should try to make things at home rather than rely on things made in other countries. So we had no time for bratwurst, burritos, bald eagles, Swiss Army knives, kiwis, kangaroos, or Earl Grey tea. We hated Earl Grey tea. So now you're probably thinking, chocolate, you said talk about chocolate. To which I say, I'm getting there. The area I lived in was, and is, famous for making amazing cocoa. And because we couldn't import anything, we also made chocolate. Terrible, terrible chocolate. Even my dad made chocolate, and I hated it. Your chocolate's terrible, Dad, I would always tell him. Which is a true story. With no imports, there was no competition and therefore no need to improve the product. Day in, day out, much of my pocket money went on a bitter, brittle, and sometimes oddly crunchy chocolate. But then something amazing happened. The borders opened to trade, and in came the Belgians, the Germans, and the Swiss, bringing with them their rich, creamy chocolate. With open borders, our abundance of cocoa was now accessible to the world. The industry boomed, as did many others. Jobs were in abundance, and more importantly, I finally had world-class chocolate. But not all was well. When the Swiss, Belgians, and Germans came and blew this chocolate thing wide open, many local producers went out of business, including my father. Because remember, his chocolate sucked. In fact, his only redeeming quality was that he knew a good cocoa bean when he saw it. Unlike my father, some producers survived, forced to improve their product to be competitive, so it wasn't all bad. Our export industry was leading to new jobs across multiple industries, and the chocolate? The sweet chocolate. So, what's a young boy to do? I knew I still hated Earl Grey tea, but otherwise, I was divided. Whilst we now had access to the wonders of the world, some local producers were losing their livelihood. After much deliberation, I did what all young boys do best: nothing. My father saw the light, closed up shop, and got a job picking cocoa beans, which he was good at. As I already mentioned, the guy knew his beans. I realized that it was all a question of the long run and how it would all work out in the end. Which is tough because how long is the long run? So there you go. That's all I have to say on chocolate. I guess now we can finally talk about globalization.